Mike here from Living Walks. Where are we today? In Greece. This is Katakolon cruise port. So, this is actually the second most visited cruise port in Greece, second only to Piraeus. That's in Athens. I think you knew that. You did. Where are we? So we're 320 kilometers away from Athens. But we're 34 kilometers away from the ancient site of Olympia. Olympia is important because that's where the Olympic Games first started. So anyway, that's one of the reasons why you might end up stopping here. It's picturesque, as you can see, hopefully. Lovely place to come take the shade on the day. Today, like today, it's 30 odd degrees. I know, hard. Someone's got to bring you these videos. There's a lighthouse here you can go and have a look at. It's about 45 meters high. There's a lovely little museum here, which is a museum of ancient Greek technology. It's really small, but it's really interesting. We'll talk about that later. So yes, this is Katakolon in Greece. So, how do you get from Katakolon to Olympia? Or rather, how do you get the Katakolon to Olympia train? Okay, well, it's pretty easy. So, if you arrive here by boat, the train station is just 200 yards away. The trip takes 45 minutes. It's going to cost you about 10 euros. Thing to do is make sure that you check out the train timetable because it's very limited. But you'll be pleased to know at the other end, when it arrives in Olympia, you're in walking distance from all the great sites. And what will you see there? Well, is the remains of the old Olympic Stadium. You're going to see the Temple of Zeus. You've got the statue of Nike. It's going to cost you 12 euros to get in. Obviously, it's something you can do yourself rather than pay, you know, we've seen $200 being charged for a trip. Probably includes a guide. But I think, you know, 10 euros for a train, 12 euros entry, and buy yourself a little guidebook. You can do it a lot cheaper. So that's what's to see. And of course, you want to see Olympia really, because that too is the site where the Olympic torch is lit at the start of the Olympics, and it's ferried hand to hand to wherever the Olympics are taking place. Katakolon beaches. Where are the Katakolon beaches? What are the Katakolon beaches like? Well, there are 30 kilometers coastline from here. Your nearest ones, so there's one about 200 yards away from where you're going to pull in on a cruise ship. That's Plakos Beach. It's very small. I'm going there in a minute. It's a pebbled beach, but it's got free umbrellas, free sunbeds. Water is beautifully clear. So that's your nearest one. Another question that comes up is about the Katakolon road train. Well, you can see where it stops. Stops just there, in fact. That's right. Oh, there in front of us, by the way, that's the museum. We have the church. So, the road train. So it takes about 30 minutes. I think it goes every 45. Stops a couple of places along the way. It goes through the countryside. We'll stop at a little village. Stops at the Mercury Winery, where if you want to get off there and pay 5 euros, you get to do a bit of wine tasting. And why not? And of course, final stop is going to be at Andreas Beach. There's going to be a little restaurant there. There's going to be some free sunbeds, parasols, a bit of good swimming. We've just been quoted 8 euros return for adults, although on the website it did say 6. So yeah, but it's going to be less than that. It's going to be at least It's probably going to be half that for kids. So we've just passed Katakolon Museum, this of ancient Greek technology. Point it out to you again. There is a little white building just behind the little train. Really is worth seeing. So it's a €5 donation to have a look round. They got some great stuff in it. It's really small. It's only a couple of rooms. But the exhibits about the alarm clock of Plato. Yes, did you know he had problems getting up in the mornings? Got an automatic opening temple gate system, which is like the first, well, building automation in history. Did you know? Oh, it's got loads of things. Automatic theatre of Heron of Alexandria. That was quite cute. A little bit like, you can imagine, like the world's first cinema. Lots of things. Hydraulic clocks. It's got a little precursor to the steam engine. It's got catapults if you're into siege engines. So it's all there. Again, €5 donation, well worth it. Next question is Katakolon, an island. Well, if you're on a Greek island tour, you might think it is, but it's not. It's part of the Greek mainland, the Peloponnese area in Greece. And yeah, note the pronunciation. Katakolon, Harini. That's the way to say it. If you want to be in the know and look like a seasoned traveller. Is it worth visiting? Well, hopefully in this little walk around, it's convinced you that it is. It's a beautiful little place. If you don't fancy going into Olympia and sweating your nads off in the midday sun, you can just poodle around here. Prices aren't too expensive, lovely place to sit. You're moments, literally moments, away from your cruise ship. Got little beaches, got a cute little toy train to drive around in. Yes, why not? Another question that comes up, is this a tender port? Well, look over there. So that ship's in. So basically, if you're a moderate size ship, you're going to get in because it's quite deep water and you'll sit here in the port. If you're one of those huge hulking 20-story beasts that looks like a block of flats covered in plastic, floating on the water, probably not. You're probably going to have to get a tender. But, you know, if you're on one of those ships, that's what happens. So, hope you found this useful. Stay tuned, we got lots of walks around the area. See you next time. Take care.